Hey guys, what's up? Just got done rotting in my cubicle for 8 hours. Now we're home and I can talk about some UFC. So Carlos Prates and Ian Garry just got announced. Ian Garry just stepped in on 2 weeks notice or whatever. I don't know how many weeks it is. But these guys couldn't be further opposites of each other. You know, one guy is taking swigs of Hennessy. The other guy, if you offered him a piece of chicken, he'd be like, "Are you out of your mind? I'm vegan." You know? One guy is smoking cigarettes, the other guy is gonna lecture you about, how chickens are treated in farms.
How disrespectful. You're lucky the authorities are here because I would take you out back and beat you by decision, and that's a fact.
But Ian Garry, he's number 7. Carlos Prates, number 13. Carlos Prates is on a crazy, crazy streak. I think he has like a 4 or 5 fight knockout streak. We'll see it later in this video. But I don't know. People are acting like Carlos Prates is about to walk in here like Popeye, set his cigarette down, knock out Ian Garry, and then pick the cigarette back up before it goes out, and then go fight for the belt. If we're telling it like it is, man, Ian Garry, he's fought way tougher competition. And he's beaten tougher competition. He didn't beat Shavkat Rakhmonov, but just fighting Shavkat Rakhmonov, having that experience is extremely valuable. Both these guys, they do have a similar opponent, though, in Neil Magny. And we've seen the Neil Magny fight with Ian Garry. He basically kicked his legs the whole time. My leg! And it was pretty embarrassing. But it ended up in a decision. He didn't finish him. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Carlos Prates, he got it done real quick. He had things to do. He had cigarettes to smoke. He had liquor to drink. He said, I don't get paid by the hour. Knocked him out very fast. So how can we say fairly that Carlos Prates can't handle the same guys? Well, I'll say it in 3. Whoa, pause, huh? I'll say it in 3 ways, okay? Because this is what we hate to admit about Carlos Prates. I think he's about to get schooled.
Come on now, dog.
Okay? Carlos, he's a absolute sniper from range. He likes to feel the rhythm and then hit. If you stand still and you're not mobile and you're just standing there like an Autobot, you're going to get done bad, okay? Because he's constantly, you can tell, he's looking at your rhythm, he's looking at your timing, and he catches you off timing, knocks you out. He's also tall for the division. He's also very lanky for the division, and he uses his range. He uses his range to his advantage. But the thing is, Ian Garry can handle long-rangey guys. He fought MVP, and he handled it. I mean, this isn't the best picture to talk about how he handled MVP. Here's a better picture to show how he handled MVP. I think he didn't really even land a single significant strike, but he beat MVP. He was able to absorb all that, whatever the crap MVP was doing, his little stick bug dance. He was elusive enough. His defense was sound enough. And I would argue to say MVP is faster than Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates is definitely a smarter fighter than MVP, but I don't think he poses any threat that Ian Garry has not seen at this point in his career. Ian Garry has also fought against Jeff Neal. Am I wrong? The strength that Ian Garry has, it's not really an offensive strength. It's like a neutralization strength. And it's like this in all areas of life. Like, you throw a cannonball at him, it's kind of like those people who like fall from the sky with no parachute and they just land in a net. Ian Garry is the net. It doesn't matter how fast you throw something at Ian Garry, he's just gonna and kind of make you miss, absorb it, take all the energy out of it. If you try to tell a joke to him, hey man, that girl, she was crazy, huh? And he's the type of guy to like suck all the energy out.
How could you say she's crazy when you don't know what it's like to have a monthly period, a monthly menstrual cycle? You can't say that.
He's like that kind of guy. He's like, man, my kids were acting nuts. I had to give them a smack on the butt.
How could you possibly put your hands on a little kid?
That's the kind of guy he is. But he takes that into the cage. So like he can fight a ruthless finisher like Shavkat Rakhmonov, and then Shavkat doesn't finish him. And then he could fight like someone with power like Jeff Neal, or he can fight a crazy rangy guy who's gonna throw insane long distance like knees and stuff from everywhere. Once again, this is not a good picture for me to show. And he's going to just absorb it and it's not going to take effect. And I think Carlos Prates is about to run into that same thing. Okay? Here's another thing about Carlos Prates. Okay, he's on a 4-fight knockout streak. Well, let's look at it. Let's look at what he's on. nicotine. That's what he's on. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fight knockout streak. That's insane. In the UFC. It continues even before the UFC. Now, here's the problem with thinking that just because someone knocks everybody out, that they're ready for the belt. Derek Lewis knocked everybody out. Was he belt ready? No. Okay. Here's the other thing. 4-fight win streak. It's awesome. It's awesome. Amazing. Good job. Good job, Carlos Prates. You know who also went on a 4-fight winning streak? Kevin Holland. Is he belt ready? He's not. I'm not saying that Carlos Prates is the same level as Kevin Holland. I know y'all about to get in my comments.
You don't even know what the Flying Squirrel doesn't even know what a 4570 is. You don't even know what a 4570 is. You even know what a 4570 is?
You know, y'all gonna get in there like that because I'm comparing him to Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland has a 4570. Carlos Prates has a doggone 40 ounce. Okay. Yeah, this 4-fight win streak, it is awesome. It makes for good TV, but I don't think it proves that you are ready for the top of the welterweight division. I think Ian Garry is at the top of the welterweight division. As annoying as he is, he is. And I think it's just different levels right here. Also, we haven't talked about, I know Guru talked about the cigarettes. Bro is about to be like Patrick when he was outside, like with no air, no water or whatever. A 5-round fight with a decision master. I know he's with the fighting nerds and yada yada. If Ian Garry absorbs all this evil like a Naruto character, if Ian Garry absorbs all this pain like Kuma from One Piece, and then he just kind of buffers him and he just drags it out to the 5th round, Carlos Prates, he's not going to have the cardio. So I don't think this is really, I think this is kind of scary for Carlos Prates. The fighting nerds are about to have their first big loss of their big top 4 guys. But I don't think it's a bad loss. To lose to Ian Garry isn't a bad loss. He'll go back to the drawing board. There's plenty of other bums in the welterweight division that he could go knock out, get back to the title picture. We'll see you again in a couple years. But this is my prediction. This is what I think, man. I'm sorry. You know, we're going to have to listen to him whine about how good he is and how he's the future and how we all doubted him. No one's doubting you, Ian Garry. Literally no one's doubting you. He's probably the favorite for this fight. But that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.